The first 7-8 minutes of the game are extremely important, especially if you're a support. Whether you're playing position 5 hard support or position 4 soft support, your decision in the laning stage can set up the tempo for the rest of the game. So in this video, we're gonna talk about 10 things that you need to do in order to win your laning stage almost always. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Jeff, I'm an 8K player in the Europe region, and what we do here is actually learning about how to play support, how to be efficient, and of course we have many guides. Without wasting any more time, let's jump into the video.
Up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster.
Since we're talking about the lane stage, it is important that you pick strong laners. In this patch, heroes like Trend Protector, Nature's Prophet, Vengeful Spirit, Warlock, Jakiro are some of the strongest supports in the current patch. This means that you should avoid heroes like Oracle, Own Knight, which may have their use in the mid game, but I would say they're pretty weak laners. Before the 0-minute mark, I do two things. If I'm Radiant, I'm placing an observer ward here. We know that Dire is most likely to place a ward there. As a result, I can go to see their plans and they will never suspect my ward placement. At the same time, following this exact path, they will not see me placing the ward, even if they have placed a ward before me. If I'm Dire, I'm placing an observer here, as I suspect that the Radiant team is usually there. As a result, I can get to use a ward A to get first blood, B, to use the same ward to get courier kills and overall prevent enemies from getting extra resources and the right items for the lane stage. If I play Radiant, also I get to place a sentry there preactively, and to Dire, I get to place it there. I know that the enemy support are going to block my small camp, so many times I use it preactively so I can get to the ward before the 1-minute mark, and I'm gonna have a free camp to begin with. Needless to say, block the enemy camp. Exceptions are heroes like Warlock, Undying, or you have something like a core Gyrocopter where they're gonna push the wave and you could benefit from pulling the big camp as well. When the lane phase starts, your first priority should be to start trading with the enemies. Now there are two ways about that. If you're playing ranged hero, you have two different ways to play the lane. One, you trade with the enemy support if the enemy support is a ranged hero. B, if the enemy support is a melee hero, you try to dodge him, play inside the wave and focus on the enemy core. Why do we do that? No matter the role, melee heroes have a hard time to be useful in lane. If you dodge them and play inside the wave, for them to be active, they have to go into the wave and start trading with you. Then you have the creep wave advantage, and it's gonna most likely lead to a favorable advantage. Of course, in this idea, the exception are heroes like Undying that they are too strong to go into the wave. Now this comes also to experience. For example, you play with Hoodwink versus Jakiro. If you trade as Hoodwink versus Jakiro, you understand that you will trade unfavorably. Naturally, Jakiro just deals way more damage, but still, as a Hoodwink, you should do that. Why is that? Because if you don't absorb dual breath and you try to dodge the Jakiro, it is our core that most likely is going to receive damage from that dual breath. And it's pretty likely that he's gonna lose a lot of resource out of that. Overall, your objective is to draw attention away from your core and towards yourself while still managing to survive as long as possible. Now, I see that many times supports get to start trading away from the creep wave, and as a result, they're pretty low levels early on. The best and easiest way to win almost every single lane is actually to secure level 2 before your opponents. This requires literally 9 creeps to do that. That means 2 full creep waves and the first melee creep from the 3rd creep wave. The idea is to get level 2 before the opponents and force the initiative instantly, like here. If you're level 2 and enemies are level 1, you have double the spells to use when it comes to an engagement. So secure all the first 9 creeps and force the engagement. Now why does it take almost 3 creep waves to get level 2 and not 2 creep waves? Generally 1 melee creep gives 57 XP. So in theory, 2 heroes should get 28.5 XP, but the way Dota works right now, you will only get 28 instead of 28.5 per hero. So the 2 waves will give you 236 out of 240 XP. Mainly, that is the reason why you should not leech XP when somebody asks you to let him get XP. Because in reality, you don't share the same amount of XP, you share less of it. Needless to say that when it comes to positioning in the laning stage, melee heroes should be ahead of the range heroes and range heroes should be behind of the melee heroes. If you're playing double melee or double range, you should be on the same line, but this all depends on how much resources and how much regen you have. For example, if your melee hero has way less health than the range hero should be slightly ahead of the melee hero to protect him and start trading his own health. When it comes to positioning, you can see more on this guide. 2v1 scenario is the second easiest way to trade favorably with the enemies and secure kills. This simply means to focus somebody when his lane partner is not there. For example, if the lane is pushed and the position 5 is trying to fix a lane by pulling, there is a big window that the carry is going to be left alone. If we force the initiative, it's going to be really hard for him to fight back. It's pretty likely that he's going to die or receive a significant amount of damage. To simplify this with another simple example, we know that most position 4 are going to help the mid lane with the 6-minute rune. So this is another opportunity that you can force the offlaner. To simplify this even more, it can be every single situation where one of the two heroes are isolated, and you can find a situation where two heroes can actually focus one hero. As we said, we know you should play a sentry preactively in the spots that we just showed previously. If the enemy hasn't blocked your small camp in the safe lane again, as it allows you to have a stacked small camp and you can get to deny an entire creep wave when you want to. However, if the lane equilibrium is only slightly off, you can perform a partial pull or a half pull. You can use a pull whenever you want to deny a full wave of XP and gold, which is huge loss for enemies when it comes to XP and gold. But there is one small trick. It is important to never ever pull the wave at 248 or 548 because the Lotus is the first real objective of the game and a kind of must to contest. How do we increase our chances of doing that? You can pull the small camp at 220. The idea that will help you contest more successfully the Lotus Orb is to be aggressive and push the wave towards enemy. So an idea to succeed that is actually pull the small camp at 220. If it's single pull, it will actually push the wave. We know that usually single pulls gets to push the wave. If it's stacked and you deny a whole wave, it's still okay. Why? Because a creep wave is gonna go back to our tower and then it's going to bounce back to the enemies. So if it's stacked or if it's a single pull, they will both do the trick. It is important though to do that at 220 and not at 248 or 250. So the first objective is at 3 minutes in and the second one is at 6 minutes in. It is important once again to push the wave, to be as aggressive as possible and try to secure the second Lotus. At the 520 mark, once again, repeat the previous step and push the lane equilibrium towards the enemy tier 1 tower. Do not pull or deny your own creep wave at 550. This way you can secure the second healing Lotus. After the previous step, the next objective at 7-minute mark is actually the Wisdom Rune. This is the most crucial objective of the game, as securing the Wisdom Rune is going to lead to you being way far ahead of the enemy support or way far behind. If you're playing soft support in the offlane, it is important to secure your own Wisdom Rune. Make sure in both cases, if you're playing position 4 or position 5, to have already an observer ward to your backpack by 5 to 6 minutes in. If you're playing soft support in the offlane, it is really important to place an observer ward here at 6:15. I want to see if there are going to be sneaky moves from the enemy hard support that usually try to steal my Wisdom Rune. As a result, place a ward there so your offlaner is also going to see if the enemy hard support is going to steal the rune, and as a result, if he sees him, you can get to ask him to assist you to secure the wisdom. Now if you're playing hard support, this is a tricky part. You want to place an observer ward on the exact same spot. Enemy might have a stun and you don't. And frankly, to be honest with you, you have no chance of actually stealing the wisdom. But many times the position 4 thinks that, oh, the rune is gonna be there. So they might not be at 7 minutes in exactly. They could be at 7002 or 7003. What does this mean? If I have vision on you and you don't have vision on me, for example, I play something like a Warlock, you can start walking to the Wisdom Rune, but if I start to use something like Upheaval, something like a Dual Breath, something like a Crystal Nova, I can get to slow you for a couple more seconds, and even if you have a stun, you will not get to be there in time. And this is so crucial. If you steal the enemy Wisdom Rune as a position 5, your chances of snowballing through the game have actually doubled. It is insane, and please do this exact thing. At this point, you should be level 4 or 5. You can rotate to the opposing side, you can gank the mid lane, or you can just chill to your existing lane and try to apply pressure to the enemy core. If you have a hero with a level 6 power spike, like a Trent, like a Warlock, make sure that you get that level 6 as soon as possible. As many times, what I've seen is that there are players that are level 5 minutes in, and just because they're so much ahead, they try to move right and left, and all of a sudden they just get no XP. And all of a sudden, from being so far ahead, they are so far behind. At this point, you have successfully won your laning stage and entered the mid game. You have learned where to place good observer wards, where to place the sentries, how to steal the enemy wisdom, how to get the Lotus Orb, how to force and good favorable trades, how to force the level 2 power spike, and how to actually get level 2. At this point, you have every single tool to snowball into the mid game. GG Raza, and I'll see you on the next video.
Hey guys, real quick, if you did like this video, make sure you subscribe, like and comment, as it motivates us a lot to keep making these videos and these guides. And of course, make sure you check out our 6-month coaching program. It's almost guaranteed that's gonna get you to the next metal, if not metals. The link is gonna be down in the descriptions. Make sure you click it and apply right now.